In today's video, we'll be discussing the New Jersey housing market. And the big question that looms on the horizon is, will the New Jersey housing market stay resilient, or will the New Jersey housing market meet the fate of many of the boom and bust housing markets that we've already seen have major price declines, such as Austin, Boise, Idaho, Salt Lake City, Phoenix, the list goes on. We'll be using the information that we have today right now to give you a future outlook as to what you can expect for the New Jersey housing market going forward at the end of 2022 and into 2023 and beyond. My name is Tyler Sellers. I'm with Two Win Realty right here in Fort Lee, New Jersey. I appreciate your time, so I'll keep this quick. To get our bearings straight, first we're going to look at the Redfin housing market data for New Jersey, publicly available on their website. And this is where you really find out what's going on. Median sale price of $442,000 today. And that's a 7.7% year over year growth. In housing, we say that a normal market appreciates at 3 to 5% year over year. So we can see back in 2018, 2019, this year over year growth spot right here, we could see it's hanging out in that 3 to 5% range, even under that in many months. I'm sure as the year averages out, it's probably between 3 and 5%. But then time goes on and we get to March 2020. So March 2020, we saw a spike down in the real estate market. Literally everything froze. And the houses that went under contract in March 2020 for extreme discounts, they closed in April, May, and June of 2020. So let's see the year-over-year growth for those months. So April was still up, but May, you could see it went down. June, it went down again. July started to pick back up, and this is the point where things just started taking off. Interest rates were down in the dirt. Money became free. Money printers went crazy. So we can see this year-over-year growth just increase because people are like, oh my God, I can afford a what's the average house? $385,000 house right now, and my monthly payment is lower than my rent. So they're like, yes, I'm buying a house right now, buying a house, buying a house. Look at this. Prices, they're like, take my money, I'll go over asking. It's crazy right here. We can see it literally got up to 25% in June 2021. And I will say that the New Jersey housing market is extremely cyclical. We see the housing prices peak in July of nearly every single year for each year. So after June and July, you can expect this number to start coming down again into the winter months. Where are we? We're in winter months, of course, January, February. It starts taking up again. 2022, the cycle starts continuing, and we peak in what? We peak in July at 471,000. Well, June at 472,000. And now we're on our way back down. So this decline is completely normal for the New Jersey housing market every single winter. But with the current economic outlook and what the Federal Reserve is doing to control inflation, keep in mind inflation was at 9.1% in June of 2022. Currently, for October, it's at 7.7%. The November numbers will come out on December 13th. They basically have to be lower than 7.7%, so 7.6 or lower to keep interest rates suppressed. Stock market, crypto, housing, everything's going to have a little rally. I don't think it'll be long term because the economy still has a bleak macroeconomic outlook. However, if we have something 7.7% or higher, holy smokes, we are going to see some major letdowns in the stock market, in the housing market, in the crypto markets. And if that does happen, I expect interest rates for mortgages to go higher than they are right now. We will see that 8% for great credit. They're already at 10% for bad credit, but we might see 8, 9, or 10% in the next 3 months, depending on what this November inflation report looks like. So if the November inflation report looks bleak, that means that we're going to see these increases in mortgage interest rates, and it's going to hurt housing demand. So let's go in this demand tab in the Redfin data right here, and we can see that home selling above list price is now under 50%. Last year, it was over 50%. Homes with price drops are increasing. It's now 18.6%. So even if you price a home right now, the chances of it selling are slim because you're pricing it based off comps that sold months prior when interest rates were lower. So now that interest rates are higher and you're trying to sell the same house for the same amount of money, it's harder for a buyer to conceptualize in their head that they're getting a good deal. So what that's going to mean is that there's going to be less buyers placing offers, less buyers closing on homes. And when that happens, inventory should start building up. But we actually see on the supply side, our inventory is just still down so bad. New Jersey has such a very interesting housing market where it's a mature market. There's no space for massive new development complexes. And because we do not have that space for these complexes, we can only sell what's on the market already, what's built on the ground already. And most of the people and families that have lived in New Jersey, these are 100-year-old houses. I grew up in a town called Bergen where over 50% of the housing supply was built prior to 1940. Many towns around me in Bergen County are like that right now, since nobody's listing their home because everybody's been living it their whole life and they don't plan on moving, because if they sell this place, what are they going to buy a new place for more money while interest rates are super high? It just doesn't make sense. So we're not going to see this giant increase of inventory necessarily unless people just literally just stop buying homes. So let's see how high interest rates get, and that will kind of tell us the future of what we can expect from New Jersey home prices. Let's take a moment just to give you an example of what a home sold for in February of this year when the market was going crazy still because interest rates were still around 3% compared to the same home for the same price today at current interest rates. So today's median sale price is $442,000. All right, so we're going to take a look at the monthly housing payment for that house if you bought it in February at a 3.5% interest rate. So your total monthly out of pocket right here would be $2,546, right? If you were to buy that same home for the same price today at a 7% interest rate right here, you can see your total out of pocket will go up to $3,310. Look at that difference from $2,546 to $3,310. So you have an $800 increase right there in the monthly payment. Most people cannot withstand an $800 increase to any of their monthly expenses. Keep in mind, this is happening at the same time that the unemployment outlook is looking bleaker and bleaker, as well as job wage inflation. So if people are going to be making not as much money and some people might be losing their jobs, these home prices are clearly unsustainable. You cannot just keep increasing home prices on a monthly basis by $800 a month every single year. So we have to see this total monthly out of pocket come back down to somewhere in the 2000s at least. So what home price do we need? Let's try 400,000. So even at 400,000, we're still over $3,000 a month monthly payment. You could have bought a $442,000 house in February for $2,500 a month. And now if it's $42,000 less, you're still paying over $3,000 a month. Let's look at 385. 385 is still too much. Let's try 380. So to get a house at under $3,000 a month with $10,000 property taxes, that's pretty standard or typical for New Jersey. You're going to need to buy a house for $380,000. Let's see how many towns in Bergen County have homes for less than $380,000. So we're going to put price max at 380 and we're going to do single family residential. So in Bergen County, New Jersey, we have 46 houses under $380,000. And look at this. A lot of them are mobile homes. So these are the towns that you could get a house for less than $380,000 in. Maywood, Lyndhurst, Hackensack, Garfield, Fairview, Englewood, Elmwood Park, Dumont, Pagoda, Bergenfield, Walwick, Teaneck, Rutherford, Rochelle Park, Richfield Park, Oakland, North Arlington, New Milford, Moonachie, Wyckoff. Wyckoff's a really nice town. So for $375,000, let's see what kind of house you get. Look, they only have one photo. So if you want a house in a nice town for less than $3,000 a month, this is what you're getting. And I can tell you right now, the roof needs to be replaced and it looks like these dormers need to be resided. So I know I went over a lot of data and I didn't give you an actual conclusion, but from the data that I presented to you, I think that you and I both can come to a conclusion as to what the New Jersey housing market has in store for us. We need to see either inventory increase a bunch, that way housing prices fall down, or we need to see interest rates come down. Because if they keep on going up, these housing prices are going to drop like a rock and it's going to be 2008 all over again, just on a completely different basis. Just because people aren't foreclosing on homes does not mean that home prices can't come down. The housing market is just a simple equation of supply and demand. If people are not willing to pay X amount of dollars for a home, the demand will be killed regardless of what the supply is. And if the supply is extremely high and buyers can choose from anything, well, it's going to be very hard to sell your house. So buyers are just going to be putting lowball offers on everything on the market until something hits. That's what I had for you guys today. Hope you guys got something out of this video. Please like this video if you got something out of it and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'd love your feedback, so leave it down in the comments. Let's see what you guys think about the New Jersey housing market going forward. Catch you guys on the next video.